Okay, yeah. So to start off, what we'll look at today are a few different things. We have a short amount of time, so we'll try to cover a lot of ground here. But first, we'll start off with what is actually AI. Looking at what it actually is and sifting through the hype. There's a lot that's been said over the past year and more than that at this point about what it can do. So we'll touch on that. We're going to look at, why does it matter? Why should you care? And so we'll see some of the business case and benefits that come from it. And then we'll also look at some practical use cases that pretty much any SMB could leverage within their operations today. And then finally, we'll see really how easy it is to start using these solutions. You don't need to be a software developer or a technical expert to start, but we'll definitely touch on that. So, if you want the practical AI automation crash course, then you're definitely in the right place here this morning. But yeah, before we go into that, let me just give a bit of an intro about myself. So hello everyone. I'm Zane Frantzen. I'm the VP of Platform and Operations here at Simply Ask. We developed Symphono, which is the AI business efficiency platform. And in my role at the company, I work every day with both large enterprises, you can think like large telecoms, so on, and also small SMEs as well. So kind of the whole range. And really what drives me most about this is helping empower businesses harness the vast opportunities that are there in accessible ways. So to keep the show going, let's start off with a question just to help me kind of gauge where to take the rest of this conversation and level of depth. Just a quick show of hands. How many of you are using, maybe automation or AI or other technologies? Okay, great. So lots of hands, that's good to see. Hopefully we can also get some more of those up by the end of the presentation here. But, there are a lot of misconceptions when we're talking about AI and what it can do through all the haze of the recent hype. The image on the side here kind of touches on it a bit, but, we're told AI can do everything and it's going to do 100% of your work. But really, that's maybe an oversimplification. And really, it's more about looking at what these practical solutions are. So, from a strict dictionary definition, AI is software systems that can perform tasks that would normally require human-level intelligence. But again, that's still pretty high level, so let's refine that. So really, in everyday terms, we're looking at what AI can do to help you with these human-like tasks, whether it's learning or problem solving or decision making. And so we'll look at specific applications of this as we go on here. But really, we're talking about things that can get smarter over time as you give it more information. Problem solving where it can take complex data sets and make a decision. And then decision making where, using those data sets and the problem solving, it can actually perform actions. So for the types of AI, the most common today are really large language models. And so you can think of things like ChatGPT, as I think most of us have heard of, where they take some input text, maybe a question, then produce some outputs, which is a response. There are other types of AI, but really, in general, all of these kind of principles hold up. So when we're sifting through this AI hype, it's really important to outline, what AI can do and what it can't do, or maybe what it shouldn't do. And so, when we're talking about things that it cannot do, understanding complex emotions, it can do that to some degree, but not really fully. Making ethical decisions, well, we have self-driving cars, so I'll leave that up to you. But generally speaking, in most cases, we're not using it for that. Replacing creativity, to an extent, maybe small aspects of creativity could be replaced, but it's really about using that as a tool to help brainstorming rather than replacing it. And predicting with certainty, well, nothing in the world is certain, so our AI systems can't tell you that either. Now, what it can do is, automating tasks. So routine jobs you are doing, you can definitely use AI and automation to do that. Enhancing decisions, pulling different data and providing you an overview, definitely helpful. Personalizing experiences, this is a great one as well, where you can use these large language models, for example, to generate personalized content, whether that's in your email campaigns you're doing or providing support. Boosting efficiency, definitely, for all of the above. And facilitating communication, they're great. We've talked about, I think most of us have seen AI chatbots, for example. And so when we're talking about why care, there are really four kind of main concepts here. There's many more benefits, actually, I should say, but kind of four big ones that come up are things about time saving, of course. Offloading manual tasks is going to save you time, so you can get more done with that. Less human error. Human error can really add up, especially when, resolving and undoing that error can be quite time expensive and costly. So that is definitely something to consider. Less tedious tasks. You don't need to do data entry anymore. You can have your AI do it. Definitely beneficial. And increased revenue. By improving customer satisfaction, you can also generally see a better lifetime customer value, which is going to increase your long-term revenue. So let's look at some practical applications for AI here. The first one, I kind of hinted at it a bit before, but is around AI agents. So to unpack that, when I'm talking about AI agents, you can kind of think about chatbots, which could work on your website, your social media, or even your phone channels. And these AI agents would talk with your end customers, but there are other use cases which I won't cover here. You can also use them internally, maybe to find information more quickly across all of your different, maybe CRM or your work management systems. But what do these agents do when you actually chat with them? Well, they're a lot more intelligent than maybe some of the older traditional chatbots that you had chatted with before. Instead of just providing answers to questions, which they're able to do, they're also able to have more open-ended conversations. So you can kind of think like ChatGPT, but for your business, where it's bounded to a set of topics that you wanted to cover, and actually is able to facilitate actions to fulfill those topics. So you can actually get value from it. Whereas ChatGPT, definitely valuable, for your personal day-to-day work, but not really something you can immediately give your customers to use as a direct tool. But importantly, since these AI agents are able to handle both these simple and complex conversations in a natural way, it's going to lead to all the benefits that I've really touched on the earlier slides. So things like cost savings, improving service quality, making information more accessible, providing 24/7 support and all of those benefits, and really negating a lot of the drawbacks and maybe poor experiences that people have had with chatbots in the past, where they're very structured. So let's see one of these AI agents in action here. Now, I think it'll be quite small, but really the idea is that you can add an agent maybe to your website as a chat widget, as it's done here. And what it's happening is that we're having kind of a back and forth conversation. You notice on an earlier message there was like some rich text formatting, so it's able to provide a nicer experience. And what's not captured or immediately evident is also that it's able to capture requests for maybe further automation. So maybe here it's able to capture a customer who wants a phone call back from a salesperson, and then that does further automation to then submit it into your CRM, maybe assign that task to someone to work on it, so you can actually track all that. But really these open-ended conversations so that you can help your clients, or as I mentioned, you can also even use them internally to make information more accessible that way. Now, to look at a different type of automation, so last one was chat-based, generative agents. Here we're looking at more about how you can use AI in process automation, repeated automation that follows a more or less kind of strict flow that you want to do over and over again. And so here, in our example, we're looking at invoice triage and management. This is obviously a very high-level flow, but what it's illustrating is that, maybe when you're receiving emails, you might have like a shared inbox for all of your different accounting or request payable invoices. You'll be receiving these emails. Then you can actually use generative AI within your flow to analyze and to determine, what type of email that is. So it'll read the content of the email, maybe read the attachments, and then from there determine, okay, so is this an invoice? Is this just a question? Is this just spam and garbage that you don't want to deal with? And then from there you can have, different actions that are performed. And this flow is very linear, just due to space restrictions, but maybe, for example, if it's an invoice, you want to create a manual task for someone to follow up with. Or if it's a general question, you just want to send an intelligent auto reply where the AI generates a response personalized based on the original message to kind of facilitate that whole transaction there. But the point being is that all of this is enabled. You don't, when you think about AI, it doesn't just have to be chat, but it can also just be in your kind of repetitive processes that you're doing every day. Now, how? How to do this? So, luckily these days you don't need to be a technical expert to leverage AI and these technologies. There are many tools on the market today where, if you can describe it, kind of map out a high-level flow, like I was doing on the previous slides there, then you can build it. Drag and drop editors are definitely a key component within these no-code solutions. The other benefit of this too is because it's non-technical, you can have different team members from across your business try it out and build out their own flows, so you can get creativity from everyone. It's not just your one IT guy who has to bear all the brunt. And then you can try new ideas quickly, and of course focusing on your goals of what you actually want it to do. Now, one of the solutions here, and one that I'm representing, is Symfona. And really, how we position ourselves is that one kind of AI efficiency solution that you need for all those different use cases I was mentioning before. So, if you're deploying AI agents, we have no-code editors that you can use to configure, build it out. I'll show that actually in a few seconds here, or maybe about a minute. And if we're looking at AI process automation, then also drag and drop editors, you can build out your flow step by step and then have it kind of execute that on a repetitive basis. There's also task management there too, so if you want to track manual tasks, maybe when an invoice is received, you want to have a task open so that someone can work on that invoice instead of just sitting in a shared email inbox. That's also an option as well. But really in general, Symfona and other tools like it are making these technologies more accessible, where you can just leverage these drag and drop editors, you can build out your automation, and it makes it easy. So when we're looking at how, for example, you might configure an agent, there's no coding involved these days when you're working with these AI systems. You're really just kind of setting up the structure of a conversation by kind of going through. You can set up a chat widget, you can configure it all, deploy it on your website, and it's very easy to do something like this in less than 15 minutes. And it's always fully no code. Just put it up on your website. And so, we've done exactly that. We created an agent for TBS. I did that this morning before the show started, and about 10 or 15 minutes to get set up. So quite easy. Really easy to harness these benefits. So I guess just to wrap up, I covered just two of those use cases there. There's many, many more that we can talk about, and every organization kind of has different bottlenecks. I mean, in general, when we're thinking about what to use automation for and what are kind of the key use cases, we're thinking about things which are going to be repetitive, kind of structured about what you want it to do, and things that you do often, as those are always going to be the best cases. So I think I'll probably wrap up here, but thank you everyone for attending. If you want to see any of this in action, we have some demos you can play around with set up at our booth. We have the Bright booth kind of near the entrance in stage 1. And I'd be happy to chat more.